How to stop comparing yourself to others and truly start living your life. Comparison is everywhere. You scroll your feed, you walk into a room, you hear a story, and instantly, your brain starts measuring who's richer, who's fitter, who's happier, who's ahead. At least, that's how it looks on the surface. But here's the truth. Comparison is a thief. It sneaks in silently, steals your joy, your focus, and the most precious thing you'll ever own, your one unique life. This is not just about envy. It's about energy. Every time you compare yourself, you hand over your power. And slowly, piece by piece, you stop living your story and start living in someone else's shadow. This is the story of how to break free from comparison and finally start living on your own terms. Your brain is wired to compare. Thousands of years ago, survival meant scanning your tribe. Who's stronger? Who has more food? Who's leading? Knowing your place in the group helped you stay safe. Back then, comparison was a tool. It wasn't about jealousy, it was about survival. But the world changed. Survival today doesn't depend on outlifting your neighbor or outrunning a lion. Yet your brain hasn't updated its software. Now it compares Instagram likes, salaries, vacations, abs, houses, and highlight reels. A constant stream of better than you flashes before your eyes, and your brain reacts as if your life depends on keeping up. What was once protection has turned into poison. It convinces you that you're falling behind, when in reality, you're simply on a different timeline. Think about it. A tree doesn't rush to bloom because another tree already has flowers. It grows at its own pace, in its own season. But comparison doesn't inspire, it paralyzes. Instead of moving forward, you freeze. Instead of progress, you waste hours staring sideways. Every second lost to comparison is a second stolen from building your own path. The more you compare, the more invisible victories you miss. You don't notice the page you wrote. You dismiss the workout you finished. You forget the kindness you gave. These are the bricks of a meaningful life. But comparison makes them look too small to matter. When you compare, you abandon your own track. You stop running the marathon of your life and start sprinting someone else's race. A race you can never win because it was never yours. The cost of comparison is not just time, it's peace. You trade joy for jealousy, clarity for confusion, your own story for someone else's highlight reel. And all along, your true path waits for you glowing quietly, hoping you'll return. But here's the good news. Comparison is not permanent. You can break the cycle. You can reclaim your focus. You can choose to live your life. The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. Catch yourself comparing and name it. This is comparison. This is not truth. The moment you call it out, its power weakens. The second step is gratitude. Comparison says, you don't have enough. Gratitude replies, I already have plenty. It transforms lack into abundance, envy into peace. Even something as small as bread and water becomes enough when you see it with grateful eyes. The third step is shifting the question. Instead of asking, are they ahead of me? Ask, am I ahead of who I was yesterday? That's the only race that matters, becoming a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more you each day. Your journey is unrepeatable. Nobody has lived your mornings. Nobody has carried your scars. Nobody has fought your exact battles. So why waste your life acting out someone else's script when you can write your own story? Comparison measures speed, but life rewards consistency. Fast isn't the goal. Forward island. The smallest steps, repeated, build the strongest foundations. Every step forward writes your story. And your story is worth more than any borrowed highlight reel. Imagine waking up and not feeling the urge to check who's ahead. Imagine walking through your day with peace, with focus, with the quiet strength of knowing you are enough. You stop chasing their life. You start building yours. And piece by piece, brick by brick, your world feels lighter, stronger, and more real. Your value has never been measured by comparison. It's measured by courage. The courage to live your life your way. 1 year from now, will you still scroll and shrink? Or will you stand taller, walking your own path? Stop comparing. Start living. Your life begins the moment you choose it. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. See you soon.